Hello, and welcome to Big Sound, Small Town. I'm your host, Sandy Carlton. The small towns and communities of Cleveland County, North Carolina have long been a hotbed of music in all its many forms. Several Cleveland County musicians have found commercial success and critical acclaim in the music industry. Yeah, everybody knows that Earl Scruggs, Don Gibson, Patty Loveless, and Alicia Bridges are from Cleveland County. Donald Byrd, too. So this is not a podcast about them. This is a podcast about the musicians who are still here and keep music alive here. This is the stories, and you need to know them and know the people who are making the music. This is not your normal podcast.
Bonfire on the bank, hard bend to the right, on the lower Mississippi, full moon tonight, where the Spanish moss hangs from the trees, down in Louisiana on Christmas Eve. That muddy water, quite comes clear. When I try to give a reason, I wanna be here. Ain't you got no family? No place to be. Out on the river. On Christmas Eve. See reflections on this clear black night, watching the shoreline come into sight. I wanna hear steam, I just wanna feel wind, to see the pitmen arm come around again. That muddy water, quite comes clear. When I try to give a reason, I wanna be here. Ain't you got no family? No place to be. Out on the river. On Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas from Big Sound, Small Town. Today my guest is Joe Hindsley, a drummer and harmonica player with a multitude of bands around Cleveland County. As part of this Christmas Eve show, I thought I would lead us in, of course, with On Christmas Eve, John Hartford, and incorporate some different Christmas styles in this show. Again, I would like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas from Big Sound, Small Town. Today on Big Sound, Small Town, my guest is drummer, harmonica player, and old fart, Joe Hindsley.
Thank you very much. I resemble that remark.
So how are you, Joe?
I'm well, sir. Got me up early on the morning here.
Yeah, it's early for me too. Musicians don't like early too much.
No, we don't do a lot of early.
No, we don't. Well, we're here to talk about your musical career.
Oh, Lord. If I can remember that far back. Of course, I was influenced by a lot of musicians. My dad played a little banjo. My mom played piano, so we always had music in the house. And there was a black lady that raised me pretty much because my mom worked for my dad. He had his own business, and she was a gospel singer. And she used to sing all the time, and that was such a great influence.
I'm sure.
So I was always into music. I loved the drums, and got my first drum when I was about 6 years old, and I used to go around the house beating on it. When I was 13, I got my first set of drums. And by 14, I was already playing in bars.
Well, that's how you get that education.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of education I got as well.
Yeah,
and I did that for a long time. Played in high school bands and everything. And
where were you during this time?
I was raised in Greenwood, South Carolina. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but I was adopted, and my folks moved to Greenwood. And my dad had his own business. He was a distributor for the Hester Battery Corporation. And he was there for many years. He passed away when I was 11 in 1962. And my mom always stood behind me. She got my first set of drums for me.
So you had this family support.
Oh, absolutely.
That's key.
Yeah, I'd come home from school and I would sit down on the drums and I'd turn on the stereo and I'd start playing the records. And my mother would sit in the next room drinking coffee and smoking her cigarettes, but she would sit there and just smile.
Well, you know she's going to heaven because she lived in a house with a drummer learning to drum.
Absolutely. So that woman earned her
right
way
there.
into heaven, no problem.
That's a pass right there.
Yes, sir. And I played in high school. When I was my first real big band I played in when I was 17, I played with the Swing Medallions.
Oh, yeah.
That was not the original group. It was kind of a replacement group. There was a war going on between some factions on who owned the rights to the Swing Medallions name, and we were kind of the replacement band. But we did shows like that. And
so did you start with like a beach rock type?
Yeah, we are in Greenwood. Everybody played beach music.
Right. I had a similar background.
Soul music, beach music is the same thing. It was great influences. And then, of course, when the Beatles came around, everything changed more to rock and roll. And I actually wound up playing country music after I got out of the service in 1971. And I was in the Army, by the way. And started playing country music, played around the Greenville area, and moved to Charlotte, played up there for a while, and I left the band, moved to Shelby, and I've been here ever since, and that was in 1979.
Wow, that's a long time that you've been here.
I've been here longer than anywhere else I've ever lived. I love Cleveland County.
Yeah, it's a good place. I didn't grow up here either, but I've lived here a long time too.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of music here.
A lot of music here. In fact, I played country music around here for many years. Johnny Short, and with Bobby England, and Country Travelers and everything, and Josh Hudson.
Yeah.
And it was Josh Hudson and the Honky Tonk Heroes at one time. And we had a lot of fun doing that. But then I got more influenced into the local music and doing more originals. And now most of the people I play with, it's all original music.
Yeah, you're playing with a lot of different people now, so tell me about that.
Well, at one time, last year, I was playing with 5 different bands.
I knew that you were.
I was playing with the Hank Cole Band.
Yep.
Gosh, now I'm going blank. I am going blank. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we know.
That happens when you get old.
Yeah,
You know?
what's the deal with Randy? What's his band called? You played with
Oh,
him?
Bruised Rhino.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the current band right now. I played with Christopher Reed and Medicine Crow for a while, and did Swing 30.
Yeah.
And that's
pretty
enough
busy
for right
schedule.
now. Yeah, it kept me busy there for a while. Of course, now you realize you're talking with someone who is actually brain dead, as we just found out with a two-minute interval here.
It's okay. We're musicians. We understand that. You know, we're all musicians. So, and it's in the morning, early in the morning.
I used to do live radio here in Shelby.
Yeah, tell me about that.
WADA, Classic Country 1390. I was here. Keith Johnson owned the station at the time, and I was working there before he took the station back. He had leased it out to a group, and they didn't pay the bills. So he came back in, took it back over, created Classic Country 1390, and asked me to stay on. And eventually got Joe Martin Green in there, and we had a really nice run there for a while until the station got bought out.
Yeah.
But we did some great stuff on there and had a great time.
Yeah, you had a show that you did live local music on too.
Oh yes.
I mean, I actually was on that show once.
I did a show with Johnny Short that we recorded, and it was a country travel show. We had it on WADA, and showcased a lot of musicians in the area.
Yeah, it did. It really did. It was fun too. It was at Bobby. When I did it, it was at Bobby's house.
Yeah.
Were they all at Bobby's house?
We did. We recorded them all up there because he had the setup and everything.
Right.
And did an excellent job with it. And then he produced it, and then we aired it.
Right. Yeah. You know, Bobby was a story I'd love to have been able to get, but
Oh boy.
you know.
Yeah, he was something else.
He was something else. I got to play with Bobby a few times, and he was a fine musician.
Oh yes, sir. I played many years, many recordings in his house over the years too.
Yeah. With Johnny, who all played in that band with Johnny? You remember?
Oh, God,
I can't remember. There was a lot of people in that band too, wasn't it? Because that was the hot country act for a number of years around here.
It was, and when I played with him, we were up at Brackett Cedar Park,
Right.
and Danny Lale was playing bass.
Bass player, yeah.
And of course, Bobby played guitar and pedal steel.
Right.
And we brought in Josh.
Yeah.
Josh Hudson.
He'd have been young then, wouldn't he?
Oh, he was. I think he was like 19.
Yeah.
He wasn't very old at all.
Right.
And Robbie Hicks out of Morganton, he played guitar with us a good bit. And
That was a pretty. Was Johnny's daughter singing at that point, son?
oh yeah. She'd come in to sing some, and he had a daughter play drums too.
Oh, yeah.
I always let her play. It was a lot of fun. It was a big family.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of good times up there. But that was a long time ago now.
It was. Now, were you part of? No, I believe that was. You didn't play with that would have been with Bobby and Grayson and.
I have played with Grayson.
When they went to over to Tri-County.
I played at Tri-County, but it with a different band at a later time.
Okay. Yeah, which Tri-County could be a podcast of its own.
Oh my goodness! I heard stories about Tri-County way before I ever went there.
And it turned out to be true.
And they were true.
Yeah,
Yes, they were all true.
Yeah, they were all true. So, it's and I spent my time at Brackett Cedar Park, which is actually it was one of the best local jobs I ever had when I first went there. A guy named Don Roscom opened it up and paid the band all the money because he was from Chicago and didn't realize that the band didn't get all the money at the door. So we made off like bandits. It was great.
No.
However, he finally figured it out and fired us and rehired us at a different rate.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
But it was a fun place to play. You know?
Yes, absolutely.
They still have music there.
Oh, yes, sir, they do. Several times lately, I've seen music events up there, and of course, they have the camping and everything too.
They do have that going on up there too. So what's the future holding for you?
Right now, I've broken more into playing harmonica.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Because, well, I actually did play harmonica in a band about 20 years ago. It was a country music band here in town called Cross Creek.
Right.
I ran the sound and I played harmonica.
Okay.
And so I got into it then. And just in the last couple of years, I got back into it. As we get older, a lot of times health situations come into being and you have to deal with it. And I've gotten arthritis pretty good in my hands and stuff. So I started leaning more toward harmonica and got into it fairly serious about a year and a half ago. And when I started playing with Bruised Rhino, and I've tried to evolve a little bit and tried to learn and keep growing. And it's gotten to be where it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
It is. It is. You're the only harmonica player that I've had on here so far. And only the second drummer, but the first harmonica player.
Okay.
And I have a big background in harmonicas.
Absolutely.
I've spent my life as a large portion of it as a harmonica player, both blues and country.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, it is. And the technology now, I use a little Vox
Yeah.
tube amp.
Yeah.
And I've got a wireless system for my mic.
Right.
It's crazy. I can walk around the room and still play. And
I know.
A lot
Plus,
of
it's
fun
a
now.
whole lot easier to pack up than a set of drums.
Yeah, it is. I can be in and out in about 10 minutes. And I still do the drums. I play drums with a Hank Cole band.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But Bruised Rhino right now is my main band because we're just getting going and we're getting busy. Been busy lately. And,
Yeah, those are busy guys that you play with.
Yeah.
Don't they? Some of them play with other people too, don't they?
Yeah, Mike Clapprood, he's a bass player.
Right.
He and I have been together now for about 3 years, and we've played in several bands together. And he's my go-to guy. He's number one. Of course, Hank Coleman, you know him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Hank did a really fun interview.
Yeah. Then Randy Mock and Pedro Fernandez.
Yeah.
And
I actually hope to get those guys on here.
and Justin Harper.
Oh
you know.
I played with Justin. We played actually together with Justin.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, Justin and I have set this thing up a couple of times to do, and it's falling apart. He's busy, got little kids, and
Oh, I know. Now you talk about someone that's busy. He does stay busy.
He's a busy man.
He teaches a lot.
He does. He's a busy guy, but he's got a fairly interesting story.
Absolutely. He's a good one.
He is.
For sure.
Well, is there? Okay. Now, where can people see your bands around the area, right?
If you live in Cleveland County, at one point, at some time or another, you've seen me,
Yeah, this is true.
whether you knew it or not.
He has.
We
at some
played
point.
we played for events on the Court Square. We played Dragonfly. We played Newgrass. We played Jaybirds. We played all the venues around here at some time or another. And like I say, a lot of times on the Court Square, we've been up there playing and different things. And we're around.
Yeah, he's been a music fixture here for a number of years. Well, basically since he moved here.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the music community, whether it's been on the radio, whether it's been in the local clubs now, or I guess it's craft breweries.
Venues.
Venues, there you go.
Yes, we don't have bars anymore. We have venues.
Thank goodness, too. I'm kind of glad of that. And actually, you can play music here in Shelby now, which for a number of years you were kind of, You know, it's hard to find a place to play here.
It really was. Many years ago, we played at the Ponderosa.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about the Ponderosa.
Oh, did you forget? How can you forget the Ponderosa?
I don't know, I played there too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I did. Oh yeah, I forgot all about the Ponderosa. That's a podcast too.
That's a whole another
Yes, it is.
genre there.
Yes, it is. Well, Joe, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come out and do this today.
Well, I'm retired. My schedule's not as busy as you think it is.
Oh, well, it's busy in the evenings.
There you
it's
go.
The mornings that has the flexibility.
No, it's a pleasure, Sandy, and I want you to know I appreciate you. And what you're doing here is a great thing. Cleveland County's got a lot of good people and a lot of good stories to be told.
They do. A lot of good musicians here, and you've been a part of it, and I'm glad that you took the time to be here with me.
Well, God bless you, sir.
Thank you. This is for the drummer boy himself, Joe Hindsley. This is Jimi Hendrix with Little Drummer Boy.
It's not the way I had him pictured. Santa was so much too thin.